Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Happy United States Tax Day. Um, yep, government didn't push us back any farther than today. So hopefully all of you guys are getting your taxes in. Been a little bit of a whirlwind here at BKS today. We've got a couple interesting new little tidbits that came out. Um, First thing is that there is a Windows patch that comes up that is breaking Microsoft Outlook. So for those of you guys that are actually watching this and are seeing this, and if your Outlook is crashing, we do have an integrated way to fix it. It does take a little time. We're working through our tickets right now. So be patient. If you have access to any kind of web access, like Outlook web access or the like, please use that and log a ticket with us at support@bksteam.com. We'll go ahead and throw it in the chat session here, and I'll help you out with that too if I can. I'll get a ticket going. Say hi to me in the chat section if you're looking for anything or information today. Another thing that we got notified this morning is there is a Microsoft vulnerability in Microsoft's DNS services. There was an out-of-band patch that was released yesterday that we are currently evaluating and making sure that it will work and not break more than it fixes. And once that is done, we will be rolling it out to our customers that are infected, or I apologize, not infected, affected by this potential out-of-band issue. So in the meantime, here we are, Wednesday, July 15th, and we are halfway through the year, a little bit more, and halfway through July. Those of you guys that are watching from Plainfield, we had our first Plainfield cruise nights last night. It was actually really nice to kind of get back out and do some of the things we've normally done during the summer. Looking forward to more coming up really quick. I am back at the office full time after a couple of weeks working remotely and or taking some time with the family. So thank you guys all for joining me today, and I am really excited about the rest of the year. There are some really neat stuff coming down the pipe, and I think our customers and everybody watching that is looking for any kind of value from us will get a lot of value going forward through the rest of the year. Want to talk about today was BYOD, bring your own device. So nowadays everybody needs a device. You got your cell phone, you've got to your hip, literally can't get. What does that mean for a business owner? Well, it actually could mean quite a bit of reliability for you as a business owner. That is your data. Are you a doctor? Are you a lawyer? Are you a banker? Is there intellectual property on your emails? Is there secure information on your emails? Do your employees have access through their phone to your data, email, web services, cloud applications, Dropbox, those? And if they do, what happens if their phone is stolen? Well, you're still responsible for it. They're not. So if their phone is stolen and it has your customer social security number on it, you're potentially the one that has the liability for the loss, and has the potential identity theft of one of your customers or employees. So what do you do? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. If you check out some of our social media posts, we have an article that we wrote recently about 5 things you can do about a BYOD policy. But the biggest thing is writing a policy. Make sure that you write a policy on what BYOD is and what users are allowed to do. So, for example, if you allow a user to put your corporate email on their phone, is the user giving you the right to wipe the phone? What happens when the employee leaves the company? How do you get your data off of that phone? Are you having to put into the system a mobile management system? Something that containerizes the data so that your data is in its own little separate little room on their phone. And if they leave or if their phone is stolen, that can be remotely wiped. And the rest of the phone doesn't get wiped. This is an issue that everybody really needs to look into. It's a tricky one, because if you're allowing your employees to put your data on their phone, some employees are going to fight back and saying, well, hey, if you're requiring me to do this for work, you can't touch my phone. I don't care. You're not wiping it. You're not doing anything. And if you push back and say, well, no, you have to have the ability to wipe the phone, then they'll tell you that, well, they don't want to work after hours, so they're not putting their email on their phone. It's a conversation you're going to have with your own employees. It's the other piece of it is, if you're going to make me put my email on my phone, you're going to pay for my phone. I will tell you that personally, I believe that if I would prefer my employees carry my cell phone and don't use my corporate cell phone for personal, and don't use their personal cell phone for work. Makes the lines a little less gray. Who wants to carry two of these big things around with them nowadays, right? So we do have ID policies. We can help you write those policies. Just have things like, how do you wipe the phone? How do you verify that the data is gone if the employee leaves the company? What is your liability? I mean, if you're selling widgets that have, and the employees have no access to any kind of identity type data, well, maybe your risk isn't that big. Maybe you don't care. If you're a banker, you probably have access to a lot. If you're a sales guy or your salesperson, he or she could have access to your entire corporate data. Do you want them to take that and leave? It kind of is a catch-22. You need them to be protective, but you got to secure them as well. Keep an eye on it. BYOD, it also doesn't just include phones, laptops. And we define a BYOD as any mobile device not owned by the company that employees could access corporate information on. So it's a cell phone and access the email, Teams, your account, as high as if they're working from home on their personal laptop. How do you secure that stuff? How do you make sure that if they're working from home on their personal laptop, that their 10-year-old Johnny hasn't gone onto that computer and infected it with malware, and now that malware is running rampant within your corporate environment? So things like proving firewalls, proving that the corporate device or the personal device has antivirus. And yeah, you can actually put in the requirement. If you want to access our data from home on your personal device, you have to prove to us that you have all of these things on your computer before we will allow you to turn it on. And we can technically block that computer. We can say, oh, you don't have access because you haven't proved it. I'm sorry. It's a little gray here, and I've been at the office for a little while already today, so I'm kind of a little tired. Apologize for that. The hardest piece of all of this, though, is going to be getting your employees to buy in, because of the ability, by putting email on the computer or the phone, you potentially are giving the ability for your IT department to wipe your employee's device. It's a potential issue that you're walking through that you're going to want to be careful with. If that is an issue for your employees, there's software out there like Mass 360 where you can actually create a cloud-based compartment, and you put Mass 360 on the employee's personal device. And then when that employee leaves, or when that employee loses the laptop or the device, you can wipe just that section, and you don't have access to the rest of their phone. So depending on the type of data that you've got is how strict you want your policy to be. And or depending on the productivity. You could say, you know what, I don't care about the data, but I need to get a hold of that person 24/7, 365. Well, then you're going to have some give and take. If you really care about the data and you don't care about getting a hold of that person, you might not want to allow them to have their email on a corporate device or a personal device. So there are numerous ways. Oh, I'm really sorry. I did not expect this, that you can go about doing this. I encourage you to look up on the internet, BYOD. Check out our article that we wrote. Give us a call. We've got policies we can help you with. We've written the policies. We have them. We know how to deploy them. We know how to manage to them. And remember, when you're writing policies, it's not just here's a pad of paper and policy is done. You have to manage to the policy. You can get in more trouble for having a policy and not doing what you say you're going to do than you could if you didn't have a policy. Sometimes, and I don't sustain this all the time, ignorance is bliss. So keep an eye on how employees are working. If you don't want them working from home, if you don't want them working out of the office, turn off the ability in your email for them to access it from their phone. You can set it up so that even if you're on Office 365, you can set it up so that their email is only accessible from within your corporate office. Makes it really easy. Users can't mess with you, you can't get a hold of them, and there's no need to put it on their personal device. But the other aspect of it, your customer and your employee you need to get a hold of your employee on a 24/7 basis. You're going to give them a phone, or are they going to take and use theirs? You're going to start seeing questionnaires about it. You're going to see your insurance company ask you, do you have a BYOD policy? Do you enforce it? How do you enforce it? Those kind of things. Those are all great things that BKS is here to help you with. Like I said, we can help you write the policy. We can also help you enforce the policy too. So give us a call. Check us out on our social media. Give us a like at BKS Systems on Facebook and LinkedIn. All of these videos are saved up to our YouTube channel. So go ahead and look through any of the older videos. And hit me up with a message or a comment on something you want to hear about. What's next in your office? I got a lot of content, and I can sit here all year and tell you things that I think are coming up, but I really do want to hear from you guys. What's next in your office? What are you guys concerned about? What keeps you up at night as a business owner, preferably as it relates to IT? Every one of us as a business owner has different things that keep us up at night. My customer security is one of the things that keeps me up at night, making sure that they have their security so they don't get breached to the best of the ability that we can, making sure that they have the best backups that we can provide them. And these kind of, I'll be honest, I'm spending a lot more time in the last 12 months writing policies and procedures than I have spent doing actual tech work. So all you engineers that are watching, I envy you guys. I haven't been able to do a lot of engineering or tech work in a long time, but this is just as important. Managing these policies and providing the governance and actually doing what we say in these policies is a huge help in your security posture. Excuse me. So give us a shout out at BKS Systems. Give us a like, give us a share. We appreciate it. Follow us. We're posting something all the time. I did just post earlier this morning about the Outlook issue I do not know the status of it right now. I know when I sat down to get ready for this about 35 minutes ago or so, we had a handful of tickets backlogged, and I'm sure we have more now. But we'll get through them. If you're a customer and you're watching, give us a call. Log a ticket with us if you can. We're working through them, and we'll get them done as fast as we possibly can. Those Outlook issues. That DNS issue I talked about earlier, we'll be pushing those patches out after testing, probably be after hours tonight, as long as they test clean. But that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys go forward and maintain yourself in a secure manner as you move forward. So appreciate everybody watching today. Looking forward to talking to you guys more, and I'll be back next week around the same time. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.